Let's break down some universal principles. Looking at Big Sean interview. Come on.
And it was frustrating seeing my mom cry over bills, it was frustrating being in debt. It taught me early on that it's not about how hard you work, because they would bust their ass. My mom would have 2 jobs.
I remember when E.T., the hip hop preacher, or whatever he calls himself, the motivational speaker, came out with the presentation, you gotta want it more than you wanna breathe. And I remember my flesh and my carnal thinking being stimulated by that, because it's not that it resonated with my heart as something that was true. It was familiar. It was parallel with my beliefs that getting something begins with you wanting it really bad and then sacrificing your peace, your rest, your tranquility to pursue it through any obstacle and every obstacle. And it's going to be hard and it's going to take a long time. But in the end, you're going to come out strong because you wanted it so bad that you never gave up. But please understand that this methodology, this way of thinking, does not coincide with the teachings of the universe and of universal law and principle. Wanting it so bad, wanting it more than you want to breathe, is the reason that you've been dealing with anxiety and falling into depression and have panic attacks and have to learn how to regulate your breathing, because wanting it more than you want to breathe has actually affected your ability to breathe at ease. And it's gotten you no closer to your desired destination. Everything that we were taught was a lie as it pertains to how to obtain and how to gain, how to be satisfied, how to be fulfilled, how to acquire. We were developed inside of a consumer's market. We were not taught the true art of acquisition. We were taught how to be consumers by those who made the products and who benefited from us being consumers.
They were constantly working, and I realized it's not about how hard you work.
You can't work hard enough to land yourself in success. You cannot outwork your belief system. You cannot outperform your self-image. You have what it is you see yourself with. You do not have the things that you desired so bad that you refused to sit down until you got them. That's how you got some of them battle scars. That's how you got some of them emotional wounds. That's how you got some of that psychological damage. Because you were taught that suffering was a prerequisite for acquisition, for fulfillment. And that's a lie. The art of having does not begin with chasing money or working multiple jobs or having multiple streams of income. The art of having begins with knowing that you already have, that everything flows to you as you rewire yourself for peace. You've been chasing 6 streams of income and you might have gotten up to 3. But if you would have just sat still by the one stream within, you might be up 60 streams of income.
My biggest early supporter was my mom, for sure. She was the first person I rapped for. She was just super encouraging.
No one is as generous, especially towards a dreamer, than an ex-dreamer who has settled into the reality that they will never escape the nightmare that they settled for. And it's not because this universe favors one person over another, or the creator, the supreme being all, favors one person over another, or even intentionally predetermined that one would go up and the other would descend into poverty and lack. We all were given the same gift. We all were given the same portion. And I know that goes against your Christian teachings. I know it goes against your religious background. And I know you can look at the external world and say, well, if we were all given the same gift and we were all given the same hand, then why does this person's life look that way and the other person's life look completely opposite? Because they played the hand two different ways. You can deal you and I out of the same deck of cards, the same exact hand, duplicate hands, and you and me gonna play it two different ways. The ancient writers said that because of a lack of knowledge, we perish. There's no escaping the nightmare when you don't know how. When you don't have the foreknowledge and you don't realize that you forfeited your dream, you didn't lose it. And the nightmare that you've settled for is a creation of your attention and your squandered energy. When you realize that you spent all of this time striving, never attained, and then developed a broken paradigm that this was just it for you. The only reason that you don't have it is because you predetermined that you didn't have it and tried to construct a strategy from that place of not having to get it.
I just saw it. I just felt it, you know? I don't know. It's like, can't explain it. I remember I used to ride to school with my boy Tone and just be like, man, when I sell out the Palace, you know, the arena where the Pistons played, or like, I just would see it for some reason.
Because within you is the Christ. Because the spirit, the nature, the essence of I am being deposited in each and every one of us, we have the ability to see, call, demand, and receive. It's not see, pursue, catch, conquer. See, call, receive. And that equation, that offer is there for every single human being in the world, not based on your behavior, not based on your beliefs. It operates above your behavior. It operates above your beliefs. And that's why they're called principles. You can not have the belief in Earth's gravitational pull and dive off a cliff. And the belief that gravity doesn't exist isn't going to stop you from plummeting to the ground. Principles operate above, beyond beliefs. You and I have the very essence of what we've been taught to call God within us. So we can see what is not there yet. We can call from our being, from our identity, from our nature, and receive the manifestation of what it was that was once just a vision that was formulated in the nothingness.